Happy lunch hour, gang. All right, little different for this one. Yes, I have a business meeting this afternoon, so yeah, not often you see me in a coat. Uh, I'll give it just put a little smile on your face, maybe a little bit. It's funny that everybody, the news, the people running around the street, think that everything going wrong in this country is some sort of new phenomenon. Like Joe was the first president to screw everything up. This is the first Congress that has made a mess of the country. We can go back about 50 years to somebody that we all know that can give you a good idea that this is not a new phenomenon.
Oh, let me tell you something. I am so sick of Washington and all its works and all them politicians down there and them congressmen and the congressmen. Boy, I'll bet you won't find none of them congressmen turning down their electric blankets tonight. Because if they did, their secretaries would get up and go home.
Archie Bunker, gotta love him. Okay. I mean, this goes back, All in the Family goes back to the early 70s. And that clip right there just epitomizes exactly what's going on in the world right now. That the congressmen don't want us to, they let's put it this way, they wouldn't turn down their electric blankets, as he said, we're expected to, but not them, and of course, as he so eloquently put it, their secretaries would all go home. So that's changed a little bit. Now it's the 13-year-old girl that will go home, unless, of course, they're on Lolita Island, right, Dick Durbin? Uh, and then they're already at home. So, but that wasn't Archie's only little cut of perfection 50 years ago. We could talk about, I don't know, maybe the whole conversion to solar power and wind power and all the climate change crap and how we are ruining the world. And yet 50 years ago, the wisdom on CBS, mind you, that was the network that played All in the Family. The wisdom that came out of Archie Bunker 50 years ago.
Well, the Democrats' way of running this country is to go tell us all how we ought to make sacrifices. God, they're great on that stuff. But they're all going to have us over the hill to the poorhouse. We ain't going to be able to drive over there because we ain't got no gas, so we're going to have to walk it.
Sacrifices. How many things have we already been told we have to sacrifice, right? We have to sacrifice eating meat. We have to sacrifice heat. We have to sacrifice cooking. Now, as I was telling you yesterday, we have to sacrifice air conditioning and refrigeration. We have to sacrifice our automobiles. Like Archie said, they're going to take us all to the poorhouse. And we can't even drive there because we have to sacrifice our gas-powered cars. And thanks to this administration, gas prices are up now, still over $1 from where they were when he took office. And gee, this is only about 80 cents less than we were a year ago. So yeah, the Democrats have solved the problem again that they caused, right? But now let's go in even further, because Archie was a man of wisdom, and we have to listen to men of wisdom. One more thing that he brought up, and y'all will recognize this in your life real quick.
My whole point is this whole thing with the energy and everything. This is all a conspiracy. You know that it's a conspiracy there. Listen, for years, all our lives, they've been telling us to go out and buy stuff that use energy. All electrical stuff. They got electric toasters, electric ovens, electric stove, electric stereo, electric TV, electric race, electric hair blower, electric knives, electric every damn thing. Not to mention the cars. And now, after all the big corporations there make the billions and billions of dollars worth of profits, signals, wham, they're changed. And after telling us for years that we can't live without this junk, now they tell us that we gotta live without it. The country is going straight into the dumper.
Exactly. You got to buy this. You got to buy that. You got to have this. You got to have that. And then all of a sudden we're told we can't. We're not allowed to. Right? And again, it goes back to what I said just a couple of minutes ago. You've got to have air conditioning in your house, because if you don't, nobody's going to buy the house. You know, you've got to have all the great appliances. Otherwise, you know, you're still living in the 1800s. And now you can't have them. Hey, we had no problem for God knows how many years selling you all these things so the Democrat donors could profit, right? Because again, you look at most of the companies out there and they are woke now, okay, but uber liberal. You know, they've all taken their hundreds of millions of dollars of payouts for the CEOs. And what have you got? Right? You get told you can't have it anymore. We're not going to service that anymore. You can't get parts for that anymore. But you can buy the brand new solar powered one that is made in China, because Joe's got to get his 10% kickback, right? That was 50 years ago. It's been going on at least that long. And we all have to come up with the answers to solving a problem that Archie talked about 50 years ago. How are we going to heat our house? How are we going to get from point A to point B? How are we going to cook, to clean? You know, vacuum cleaners need electricity too, right? You know, how are we going to do all this when the grid fails? How are we going to do anything when there's no petroleum? Because God knows John Kerry's out there making sure that we don't have any oil, we don't have any coal, we don't have any electricity unless it's solar, right? Please tell me how good that's going to do you on a cloudy day. I've said many times before, there is enough battery capacity in the world, okay? If you had every battery completely full with solar energy, however you want to fill, every single one of them, we have enough power to run the earth for 75 seconds. That's reality, guys. Okay. This administration is doing everything they can to send us back to the Stone Age. And why? Because they aren't giving up their planes, their limousines, their electricity, their gas, their air conditioners, their stoves, their heat, anything. But you are expected to live with nothing. I mean, may I remind you of Klaus Schwab. You'll own nothing and be happy. I don't know what his definition of happy is. But if you're wondering going into Christmas here, what the hell am I doing prepping? Is this all a waste of time? Go watch the video I recorded this morning about what's going on. There's something coming. And all signals point to us being driven back into an 1800s lifestyle. And the only way we stop this tyrannical authoritarian overtake of the world is by preparing to fight back. When they tell you, I'm sorry, you can't have electricity anymore, you go, don't care, I've got it taken care of. When they tell you, we're not pumping water to your house anymore, don't care, I've got that taken care of. We're not sending gas to your house anymore, so you can't cook, you can't heat your house. Don't care, I've got that taken care of. And the more we take care of our own situation and take the control away from them, the faster they fall out of favor, the faster they lose power. You know, the easiest way to stand up to a bully is to stop him in his tracks. That's exactly what we've got going on. We've got a small group of people who think they have all the power. They're sadly mistaken. Pinball out.